The call came at 2:17 p.m., right as my screen filled with spreadsheets I no longer cared about. Her name lit up my phone. I answered. "I just inherited millions," she said. No greeting, no warmth. Her voice was clean, surgical. "Pack your things, get out of my house." I stared at the glass wall of my office, my reflection split into sharp angles. "Your house," I repeated. A pause, controlled, practiced. "When you come home," she added, "the papers will be ready." The line went dead. For a moment, the world didn't move. Keyboards clicked somewhere behind me. Phones rang. Coffee spilled. I felt none of it. I smiled, not because it hurt, because it finally made sense. The house smelled different when I walked in. Too clean, like a hotel after checkout. My things were already stacked by the door, shoes aligned, clothes folded with someone else's hands. The divorce papers waited on the dining table. She stood by the window, back straight, phone in hand. She didn't turn around. "I'll give you the weekend," she said. I flipped through the pages slowly, every clause aggressive, precise. She'd been planning this longer than she admitted. "Congratulations," I said. She turned then, smiling, not relieved, triumphant. That was the betrayal, not the money, not the divorce, the certainty. She already knew how this would end, and that meant it had started long before today. I didn't argue, I didn't beg, I signed. That night I slept in my car and reviewed 3 months of bank alerts, a Shell account I hadn't noticed, transfers timed with her business trips. I pulled phone records. One number repeated, unlisted, expensive. I followed quietly, watched her laugh at cafes she never liked, watched her touch a man she introduced as an advisor. I ordered a background check on the inheritance. There was no inheritance. There was a lawsuit settlement, a death, an older man, married, powerful, and one clause buried deep in the agreement: funds revoked if marital fraud is proven. I didn't confront her. I waited. The DNA test arrived first, not for me, for the man she called her future. I watched him open the envelope in my office, hands shaking. "This can't be right," he whispered. "It is," I said. The second folder slid across the desk, financial records, dates, messages. Then the final document, the settlement clause. He looked up at me hollow. "She said you were controlling, abusive." I nodded once. "She said you were rich," I added. Silence. That evening she called me for the first time since the papers. "You're interfering," she said, voice cracking. "You're ruining everything." "No," I replied. "I'm just letting the truth breathe." We met in the same house she'd thrown me out of. The furniture was gone. So was the confidence. She stood in the center of the room, eyes red, hands clenched. "You knew," she said. "You knew before you signed." "Yes." "Then why?" "I wanted you comfortable," I said. "People make mistakes when they feel safe." Her knees buckled. She caught herself on the counter. "The money's frozen," she whispered. "The lawsuit's reopened," I replied, "and he's cooperating." She looked at me like a stranger. "I loved you," she said. I tilted my head. "No," I said softly. "You used me as a placeholder." I walked past her. She didn't follow. I don't think about her anymore. Not when I pass the house, not when her name appears in court filings, not when mutual friends stop calling. What I remember is the sound of my pen against paper, the moment I signed, how calm I felt. Some people think revenge is fire. They're wrong. It's ice. It's patience. It's knowing you could destroy someone and choosing the exact moment when they do it themselves. The last thing she ever said to me was a question. Did I ever matter? I didn't answer, because silence was the only thing she hadn't prepared for.